what still warms my heart? The fact that even though my kids are grown, they still come to me asking for the things I used to make when they were little. A certain meal, a certain cake, a taste of home. And every time they do it, it reminds me that God's love never stops flowing through the little things we do for our family. The Bible says in Proverbs 31:27, she watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. And that right there, that's what I think about when I'm in the kitchen. I may not do it all, but everything I do it with love. So my son turned 21 this week, and all he wanted for his birthday was a caramel pecan cake and a home-cooked meal. I didn't do the big meal, but I did what I do best. I baked him the cake, and I fried him some wings and fries. Okay, so let's get into this cake. I started off with 3 sticks of softened butter, and I went in with 1.5 cups of brown sugar and 1 cup of white sugar. Gave that a good mix until I got it nice and smooth. Then came the eggs. I used 5 extra large eggs, and I dropped them in one at a time, mixing after each one. Don't rush that part because that's what keeps the cake rich and fluffy. Then once that was done, I scraped down the sides of my bowl, added a splash of vanilla extract, and gave it one more mix. And that was that for my wet ingredients. And now for my dry ingredients, I used 2.5 cups of Swan's Down cake flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I shifted it all together so the batter would be light. Then I took half of my dry mix, added it to my wet, blended it, and then did the other half. Now listen, I was supposed to use buttermilk, but I didn't have them, so I used 1 cup of regular milk. And let me tell you, it still came out the same. Chloe helped me pour it in and mixed it till it was smooth. Now this is the part where if you like pecans, you can fold you in some pecans into your batter. But for me, I don't like it inside the cake batter, and my son doesn't either. Then I grabbed my bundt cake pan. I didn't have any Baker's Joy non-stick baking spray, but I had 1/2 stick of butter. So I greased my pan the same way your grandma used to grease your face with Vaseline before church on a cold Sunday morning. Then I poured my batter in, popped it in the oven at 350 for 55 minutes, and while that baked, I started on my topping. For the caramel topping, I added in 1/2 stick of butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, and 1/2 cup of corn syrup. I mixed it on medium to low heat until it got smooth, and once it came to a boil, I cut the heat off, added in 2/3 cups of heavy whipping cream, gave it a real good mix. Then I turned my heat back on for about 2 to 3 minutes and then added my pecans. Then I let it sit for a little while, and there you have it, caramel topping. And when my cake came out the oven, I flipped it on the cake board, put it in the cake box, and I poured that warm caramel mixture right on top. That's when you know it's the holidays in my house. That glossy caramel dripping down the sides, so moist, so rich, and full of love. Not only pull this recipe out on special occasions, it's one of those cakes that just feel like home every single time. So if you've got a family recipe that means something to you, go ahead and make it, share it, and thank God for the hands to do it. And make sure you share this video too, because every time you like, comment, and share, it helps me keep creating more content just like this for y'all. So always remember to stay prayed up, because that's where your strength begins. Love you. Bye.